Hello, 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 my beloved souls. It is Divine Masculine Monday. Happy New Year's 2023, guys. Oh my God. We went through so much, right? Last year was like tumultuous and crazy and intense. And now we're in 2023, which is a 7 year, and it's all about like our inner self and our God self. And there's a number of like, divinity and spirituality. So this is going to be a really powerful year. And as you guys probably know, because I said this before, I really feel this year is going to bring a lot of abundance and victory into the lives of the collective, or at least for those that are tapped into those higher vibrational energies. So, for those of you who have been consciously doing the work, which I know many of you divine masculines have, this is going to be a really powerful time. Sorry. These ants are like hanging out with me today, but I don't want them crawling on my computer while I'm doing your reading. So anyway, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful year, and I'm just super excited to share these energies. I went to Vegas for New Year's to bring in some activation codes for wealth. But what I didn't know while I was there is that I was also going to be doing activation codes not only for wealth and abundance, but also for love and intimacy. All of those energies really came out as well. Um, as well as activating some energies of like courage and kind of like breakthroughs. There was a lot of doing things in a different way. There was a lot of moving out of our comfort zone. There was a lot of like exploration and um being seen and being heard. A lot of that activation went on, and I was like so excited just to be a part of it and to tap into all those energies and see where the collective is going to be going throughout 2023. So it's going to be a really, really huge year if you're open to it, which I hope you are, my beautiful divine masculine. So, as always, we're going to pull from the Power Animal deck, and then I'm going to get a message from the Gateway Oracle and a message from the angels and ancestors because they want to come out and speak to everybody. So, thank you, angels and guides, for being here with me in the Divine Masculine Collective. What do they need to know? What do they need to see? All right, let's get into it. Bottom of the deck, Badger, Perseverance. Wow, it's like the second time I've seen Badger in recent days. So, that energy is kind of being amplified. Dig in and see it through to completion. Yeah, this is going to be a year where we're not giving up on ourselves. And throat chakra just closed up, so maybe some of you guys are having a problem communicating your thoughts, your words, your deeds, your desires. But this is a year where we're not going to give up, right? This is a year where we're going to push through. This is a year where you're not going to block your own blessings and kind of talk yourself out of your winnings, your victories, your abundance, right? So this is really about just keep moving forward, right? Even when we're getting detours or delays or obstacles or challenges, right? It doesn't mean that we just give up. It just means that maybe we need to do things a little differently, or maybe we need to revamp, and maybe we need to take a step back before we can go forward. Okay, but do not give up. I love that as like the base energy to start your year, right? So, divine masculine, let's make this the year of seeing it all the way through, right? Make this your year of perseverance, winning. Oh, and look, Dolphin came out with playfulness, right? So even though you're gonna grind and you're gonna move hard and some things may be a little challenging, don't forget to have fun, right? It's all about balance in our life. Playfulness. Take time to play. So how can you laugh more? How can you breathe more? How can you add a little bit more fun into your life, right? When we are in a state of play, a state of fun, a state of like of joy. That is a high vibrational energy, and that brings to us even more things that are high vibrational, right? It brings us into alignment with that. So although we are going to be, grinding and kind of like putting our freaking money where our mouth is and moving things forward this year and really doing what we have to do to move the marker along, right, towards our goals and towards our dreams, the more fun we make this process, the easier it will go and the quicker your manifestations come. Again, when you're in a high vibrational energy, things get drawn to you from that high vibrational space. So you want to be in a state of joy, of fun, of relaxation, of feeling really good this year in order to persevere and to move through with your goals, your dreams, and your desires and to lead you to your happily ever after. Okay? We had Deer come out. Pathfinder, right? Trust your instincts to guide you through the situation. You all have innately within you your instincts, right? Your soul is always leading you. Your team of light is always leading you. It's always going to lead you to the path of least resistance, and it's always going to lead you to your joy. Always, 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 right? So if you learn nothing else, divine masculines, you learned last year that you need to tap into your divine feminine energy and really trust your instincts and trust your intuition in order to move things forward. Again, with the perseverance card, right? And how the throat chakra just closed out. We don't want to talk ourselves out of our own blessings, right? We don't want to be the weapon that prospers in order to the weapon that's formed against us that doesn't want to prosper, right? We want to get out of our own way. So you want to go into prayer, right? And praying these beautiful bold prayers, and then you want to go into meditation and get quiet and get still and wait for that intuitive guidance to kick in. And then you want to do something about it, right? You want to take action from that step, right? Ask, believe, receive, right? So where when you ask in prayer, right, you believe that you've already received it, you've seen it in your meditation, you put it out there, you got that intuitive prompt to just go, and then you get up and you start moving forward. Why? Because you're already on that path, you're already on that timeline, you're already making it happen, right? And so you're not going to keep sitting there and praying for something that you already have because you already have it. Right, that's that ask, believe, receive energy. It's like, all right, I put it out there, cool. I know I'm gonna get it, cool. Next, time to move on. Right, it's like, oh, I'm going. Let's say you're taking a trip to Miami. It's like, all right, I'm going to Miami. It's like, all right, well, you know you're going to Miami. What would you need to do in order to make that happen, right? If you knew you were getting up tomorrow and going to Miami because you already put it out there and now it's happening, what do you need to do? Oh, let me grab a bathing suit. Let me grab some sunblock. Let me buy a towel, a beach towel, right? Let me see where I'm staying. Let me rent a car, right? You're going to like look at airline tickets. Like you're going to do all the things that need to be done afterwards because you already know that you're going. It's that same energy, right? It's that same energy. I love this. And for those of you that resonate as being a twin flame, this beautiful deer, right? The stag has been an indication of union for a long time. So you could potentially, if you aren't already in union, be meeting your divine counterpart, or you guys will be taking it to the next step. You know, if you're already like kind of together, but you know, not necessarily like married or like exclusive yet. So maybe if you just kind of like met them, you guys decide you're gonna start seeing each other exclusively, right? Or maybe if you've been seeing each other exclusively, decide you want to like move in together, or you're gonna get engaged. All right. So just a double message for those of you that resonate as twin flames. Then we had the monkey come out with ingenuity. Okay, the situation calls for adaptability and innovation. Right back to that badger energy, right? Or perseverance. It's like just because you come up with a challenge, an obstacle, a delay, a detour, it doesn't mean that you give up. It means that you just might have to look at things a little bit differently, right? So again, I think I bought this. I don't know. I bought this up on one of the readings recently. But like, let's say you're like in a labyrinth, right? And you're going, you're following down the path, and all of a sudden you get to an area where it's a dead end. All right, doesn't mean that you just give up and you just sit there and you just die in the middle of the labyrinth. No, it means that you back up and retrace your steps, and then when you get to where you were before, you redirect. Right? That's this. That's this. So just be open to redirection. Be open to being flexible about things. Be open to doing things a little bit differently in 2023, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. No, you have to change things up this year. All right. We have to move the marker along. How can we do that, right? With perfect trust and perfect love. Okay. Otter, surrender. Literally just talking to someone about this energy. All right. Let go of control. Surrender the process. Surrender needing to know how. Surrender having to have all the details, right? You have implemented your goals, your dreams, your desires. And I love the fact that this is coming up around New Year's, right? Because that's when everyone does their New Year's resolutions. Oh, new year, new me, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Start today, whatever it is. You don't have to wait for a special occasion. But this is you planting that seed and putting the energy out to the universe and then just trusting that the universe got it, right? It's like, let's say for instance, my beautiful plant here, right? I just got a money plant sent to me, right? So I don't get all up in Gaia's business about how she does what she does. I took the seed with the soil and some water, put it to the side. They're like, put it where it's gonna get some sunlight. I put it where it's gonna get some sunlight, and then I kept it moving. And it was like flat, dead seeds when I first got it. I was like, is there anything in there? Yes. And now it's starting to sprout. Like I left it alone, surrendered it to the universe, and now that it's growing on its own, right? So that's the surrender. It's just like put it out there, trust the divine, and I know that whatever I need will be added unto me, right? I'll look at the plant every once in a while and be like, oh, it needs a little bit more water, and I might add a little bit more water, but I'm not in there digging up the soil, trying to look at the roots and seeing like what's going on. No, I just do my part and I let the universe to do its part. That's this energy. Do your part and release the rest of it to the universe, right? You want to lose weight? Cool. Sign up for the gym. Now go to the gym, right? You don't need to know how the calories are broken down and the muscles are working and da 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 da. No, you know that you need to go sit on that bike for like a good half an hour to an hour and that it's going to help you somehow, some way, right? You don't need to know how it's helping your lungs and all the details. All you need to know is that if you keep doing your part, eventually you're going to see results. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Okay. And oh, rabbit with fertility coming in. Your creativity is at a peak. So dual message. Yes, your creativity could be at a peak. When we release our traumas and dramas and pains and all the people in our life that are just being negative and like holding us back, it is so freeing, right? I was just talking to one of my cousins about this, who's been doing a lot of healing work herself over the year. And once she cut off certain people and like ended those relationships, she's had more time for herself. She's had more space for her own energies. Her creativity has come back, right? Because she's no longer allowing those people to clog her energetic field. And so I feel like that's what many of us had to go through in 2022, right? It was a big year of transformation and healing. And I mean, deep stuff was coming up, right? We were pulling stuff out at the roots. But now that we've pulled all that stuff out and we've cleaned out our house and we've moved all this furniture and we've decided to do a spring cleaning again, even though it's in the winter here in the northern hemisphere, we're making room for our thoughts, for our genius to activate our own creative divine sparks. Right? We're all children of the universe. We're all children of the divine, and God created the world this world, right, in 6 days, rested on the seventh. We all have the same ability to create worlds and to create lives. We have to activate it. Also, for some of you, this might be a year, my beautiful divine masculines, where you become pregnant, right? Obviously, if you're a female divine, gender female in the divine masculine energy, right? Congratulations. So, for those of you that are having babies, and again with that dear Pathfinder connection, right? Maybe you and your divine counterpart, your twin, have finally got together, and you guys are going to start a family. Congratulations. Awesome. So excited for you. If you're not looking to start a family this year, be careful. Okay? Be careful. I also feel like the springtime is going to be super important um, for a large part of this collective, right? So we might start off a little bit slowly in the winter months, which isn't surprising, especially like I said in the northern hemisphere where things are a little bit slower. But if you're in the in the northern hemisphere, but I feel like spring is just going to bring a lot more blessings, a lot more activity, a lot more energy. So as the light has increased on the planet, and as we're moving more towards that area, you're going to start to feel yourself, right? Like feel into yourself. It's almost like you're just going to be a little bit more on path. Okay. So funny. It's been cloudy here, like kind of all day. I've been inside, kind of doing work, and I was like, oh, let me go outside and do the reading. And I come outside to do the reading for you guys, and it starts to rain. So huge clearings and activations going on within you, my divine masculine collective, right? Really energized. Like I said, I think the spring is going to be really important. And what do we say? April showers bring May flowers, and then it starts raining, right? So again, spring is going to be really, really great for you. It's going to bring a lot of productivity. You're going to see a lot of changes. Your plants are going to start to sprout, all right? And I'm talking about the seeds that you planted within the soil of your soul, all right? Let's get it. Okay, now they're telling me to start with the angels and ancestors. So, angels and ancestors got a message from my beautiful divine masculine collective. So, what do they need to know? What do you want them to see? As we're starting off this awesome year. Wow, got a lot of messages coming out. That's crazy. Crazy. Bottom of the sky. Bottom of the sky. Bottom of the deck. Father Sky, the Most High God coming in. Trust in the unknown. Once again, you don't need to know all the details of how everything is going to play out. You really don't. You really don't. Okay? But trust the process. Trust that you're on path. Know that anything you need will be added onto you. Know that at any point you can call upon the grace of God to just come into your life and to help shift things for you. Right? And to, I mean, by calling upon God's grace, it is like, I want to say like what we say, like an abracadabra, right? Like it's that powerful, and it's not like that kind of like silly and like magical. It is actually magical, but it's that powerful, right? Because we're calling upon God's grace. We're not under law, we're under grace. It's a game changer. It's like your get out of jail free card in Monopoly. It is like when you pull a card in Monopoly and it's like go, go directly to go. Collect $200. It's that kind of win in your life. So you want to call upon God's grace in your life and activate what and put your desire out there and ask for that or something better, right? Don't shortchange yourself this year. Don't just accept anybody's fucking crumbs. No, like get the whole entree and dessert. Okay? Really important for you, my beautiful divine masculines. All right, you got a lot of messages that came in. So, I see some abundance in there too. All right, let's get to it. All right, traveler, moving a new direction. So, some of you are going to be traveling this year. Like really like traveling. Like you're just going to make this a part of like your thing where you're like in and out and you're traveling and you're exploring new places. I feel like a lot of you are being drawn to some of the sacred, like, more sacred spiritual sites. These freaking ants, they just love it here. Hi, friends. To some of the more sacred spiritual sites, and that's going to be really activating for you. Like I said, when I went to Vegas, I knew that it was going to be a huge activation for me and my tribe and my collective, right? Like I knew that I was going there to activate our wealth and abundance codes, and I knew that that energy would support that. Again, I went out there with the intention of activating one thing, and I got three things activated, right? And so it's like you never know what the universe is bringing to you, right? For those of you that aren't going to necessarily be up and running around and traveling and on those planes, trains, and automobiles and all those things, this is just you looking at your life with a new scope, right? Seeing things a little bit differently. Again, with the Badger energy, and then who else was it? The monkey with ingenuity, right? We just want to try things a little bit differently. We want to look at things a little differently, moving away from the tried and the true. And that's really where the whole collective is shifting anyway, right? As we move out of that Piscean age and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, right? It's like we're moving away from that toxic, kind of low vibrational, every man for himself, kind of crab in a barrel mentality, and we're looking at things differently. We're looking at the big picture. We're seeing how it's affecting the whole of everybody. We're pouring love into everything, right? We're moving from living fear based to living heart based. And that's a very, very different energy to move with, to activate. All right. Beautiful red coloring here, also indicating our root chakra, right? You want to be stable, grounded, and secure and abundant, right? So we want to make sure that your root chakra is in balance. There's a ton of meditations here on YouTube, so go check them out. Okay. Animal guardian coming in. I love that, especially with all the animals that showed up for you today. Trust your instincts. Once again, literally two cards that say trust your instincts, divine masculines. All right, the angels are repeating themselves to you big time today. You need to follow through with that, right? Trust into your intuitive promptings. What does that feel like in your body when you're trusting your intuition? What does it activate? Do you feel it somewhere in your body, right? I know when I tapped into my team of light, I get a certain feeling within my body, and I know that that's the direction should go. I'll take a minute, I'll take a pause. If I need to make a decision, I'll stop and then I'll feel into it and I'll go, is it A, B, or C? Like, what's going to lead me to my highest and greatest good? And I can always feel within my body the one that is meant for me. I just took a test the other day, and there were some questions I didn't know, and I was just like, let me ask the angels. Angels, which one should I do? And it was like A, B, C, D. And then when I got to my answer, I chose it, and I kept it moving, right? Passed my test. Knight, be brave and honest. If you cannot expect honesty from anybody else, my beautiful divine masculines, you better damn well expect it from yourself. So this year, be courageous. And again, I recognize that with the throat chakra energy that happened earlier, right? Be bold and be courageous in your teachings and your speakings and how you're dealing with people, right? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with others. Open up your heart. Say what you got to say. Do what you need to do, right? Don't hold back because of causing waves or people may not like it or whatever. This is your life. This is your soul path. This is your mission. This is your happily ever after that we're talking about right now, not theirs. Right? Everybody else is living their best life, doing them for them. It's time for you to do you for you. And that's not from a space of arrogance and self absorption. This is a space of self love, self respect, self knowledge, and self worth. Okay? Very different conversation. Look, more red energy coming in for you. Then we have, look, more with this red energy. There's a theme here, divine masculine. So make sure that your root chakra is balance. Like, do what you need to do to get some root chakra balance in. Your root chakra is the base chakra, right? That's our first chakra as we're moving up the line when it comes to our energies connecting back to the heavens. You guys really need to be grounded at this time. If you can get outside, go into nature, hug a tree, get your feet into the earth, get into a body of water, however it works itself out. If you can't get outside, bring outside inside, right? Like, start dealing with get a plant, you know, listen to some shamanic drumming, something like that. Eat some really grounding foods, right? Potatoes, beets, things like that. That's going to just help you get really, really settled. Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. What did I just say? We're moving from an energy of fear-based thoughts and deeds to one that is heart-centered. Your heart is where your soul lies, right? That is why we feel into things, right? Our emotions are our GPS to the soul. So open up yourself, right? Allow yourself to love, but also allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to receive love this year. And I know by masculine, it can be challenging, right? It can be challenging when you feel like you always have to like do and be and kind of like have a certain status and stature kind of like going on with that masculine energy. But this is letting you know, no, it's safe for you to activate your divine feminine. It's safe for you to allow yourself to be loved. It's safe for you to allow yourself to be nurtured, to take some time for yourself, right? You see, she's kind of just like holding herself. So take some time for some self-love and some self-care. All right. And then we got snake. Shed the old skin. We're gonna repeat it again. We're not gonna keep doing shit the same old way. It's time to do stuff new, right? You've transformed. The old skin no longer fits you. That's why you're uncomfortable. That's why you're uncomfortable. You're expanding, you're growing, evolving, and the old you, that old suit that you had on, doesn't fit you anymore. It's time for you to move on. All right. So yeah, you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable because it's time for a change. And then when that skin is gone and you've allowed yourself to be the newest version of yourself and you're on your highest and greatest timeline at that point, your life is going to transform. The snakes are also indications of healing. So I feel like for those of you that need to hear this message, expect some healings and transformations to be happening in your life, right? Expect recovery, expect some changes. Maybe you want to look at an alternative form of medicine, so I love the doctors and nurses that I have in my life. I do, but I don't focus solely on the American forms of medicine, right? I do a lot of alternative things. So I'm working with energies and crystals and herbs and things like that. So that might be something that maybe you want to look into, right? Checking your diet, feeding yourself to health. Okay. The abundance I was talking about. Look at that buffalo in the background. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. So, white buffalo calf woman, right, guides us to the abundance of the heart, right? When we activate our heart and activate love within our lives, it's a compass to bringing abundance into our life, an abundance of wealth, health, joy, peace, all of these things. But this is picking your battles, right? This is the energy of picking your battles, divine masculine. It's like I tell my girlfriend all the time because she is a fucking know-it-all. I love her to death, but she's a fucking know-it-all. And I'm like, sometimes it's better to be happy than to be right. Right? Sometimes it's better to be happy to be right. Just let it go sometimes, right? Pick your fucking battles. Is everything worth an argument? Do you always have to prove yourself right? And at the end of the day, you proved yourself right. You got into an argument with somebody you love. Do you feel better about yourself? No, because now y'all are not talking. When you could have just what? Just shut up and moved along. Right? So many people I was dealing with last year and like coaching, and I'm like, listen, if you say, "Oh, what a beautiful blue sky," and somebody says it's purple, just be like, "You're right." Like, is this worth an argument? I'm looking at the sky, I see that it's blue. You think that it's purple? Fantastic, cool. I'm looking at the trees and they're all green. You're telling me they're orange? Fantastic. Like, I'm not sitting here arguing with you over some nonsense. It's not worth my energy. It's not worth my time. So you just discern in that and hold on to that next year or throughout this year, right? It's like sometimes it's better to be happy than it is to be right. Just move the fuck on. You know what you know what you know. You know it in your heart. You know it in your soul. You know how to handle your business. Do you fuck what they think? Fuck what they gotta say. Okay. And then we have Spirit Fox. Yes. Trust your talents in changing times. The world is changing quite quickly, right? We have new technologies coming in. We're communicating with people in a different way. We're activating all over the planet. We're reawakening to our divine selves. right? Trust in the talents and the skills that you have coming forth. A lot of you got activated last year when it came to your spiritual and psychic gifts. And I know that that was kind of like, oh, like what the fuck? You didn't know if you were like coming or going half the time. You know, you're just like, what is this? And is it okay? And, you know, you got people that are low vibrational or scared or fear based that are just judging you or criticizing you. But it's like, this isn't the time for them. This is your time. You know what you know what you know. You are who you are. You're seeing spirits, you're tapping into energies, you're sensitive in certain rooms, you can you're intuitively eating, you're touching foods and you know automatically what's working for you and what's not. You're connecting with people telepathically. Maybe some of you are like having these really vivid, lucid dreams, or you're having all these forms of deja vu, or all these different psychic gifts that we have. There's so many clairs. You're hearing things differently. Don't even get me started with the clear audience stuff. Because I've been clairvoyant and clairsentient and clairtangent most of my life. And now I have all these other things that are really being activated. And as those other ones are being activated, the gifts that I already knew I had are being honed even more, right? So where I feel like, and I'm just saying that, I don't know, obviously the fox's ears, and they brought me back to it. So for some of you, this is your clairaudience is coming in, right? Maybe you're hearing things that aren't being heard, or you're having like you can hear clearly like a conversation going on within you, and you're like literally connecting with someone and like conversing back and forth, or the phone's gonna ring before it rings, or your ears are starting to ring, and you're hearing like different sounds and you're hearing tones a little bit differently. You're being drawn to maybe different high frequency and binaural beats. The music you're listening to is kind of changing and activating you in different ways. You're really hearing within the okay, sorry, they gave me a lot of messages. For some of you as well, you are working with your music and sound, and so you're channeling, you guys are channeling into your music, you're channeling into sound. So maybe some of you have been like producing music, or songs, or you're like kind of like songwriters or whatever. The frequencies and the activations within the music that you're creating. Okay, some of you, sorry, because they were giving me a lot of messages there. So some of you have been imbuing your music with light codes, whether that's from your voice or from like the beats that you've been using. Okay, so they're saying not to like stop that, like don't give up on it. There's certain artists out there that are tapped into those energies automatically, right? That you feel it when you listen to their music. J. Cole, um, India Ari, for instance, right? Like Celine Dion. Like you feel and resonate with their music on a much different level. Whitney Houston had that power too, right? Andre Bonicelli, right? These are people where you like listen to them and it's different. It's not just a song, it's not just a beat. Like you hear them in a much different way. Their messages really resonate with you. Their coding really activates different parts of you. That's this as well coming through. Okay. I'm sorry, that was a lot with the fox energy. It was like, wait, and don't forget, and don't forget, and don't forget. All right. And an arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. Amazing. You guys know I'm always guarded and protected, right? I always got some type of crystal on, something going on to protect my energy. So maybe you guys want to be working with crystals. If you don't want to do all that, you don't actually need anything physical to protect you. You can always just call upon the angels, call upon your ancestors, call upon your spirit guides, spirit animals, call upon your team of light. Every single day, I ask the Most High to surround me in a pillar of golden white light to keep me safeguarded and protected while I'm asleep, while I'm awake, while I'm coming, while I'm going, while I'm in and out. I do the same thing with my children. I protect them in a bubble of white light. So see yourself being surrounded in a bubble of pure light, of pure white light. Maybe call upon Archangel Zadkiel with the violet flame. I work with, before I went to Vegas, me and Archangel Zadkiel on the line. I'm like, so I'm activating the violet flame. I need that to be with me everywhere I go, because I want to transmute all energies, and anything crazy negative that might come my way will automatically be alchemized and transmuted into something, into unconditional love or above, or it's going to be sent back to wherever it came from, harming none in return. You know what I mean? So just work with those energies to really shield and protect yourself as you're going throughout this year. And know that your path is always guarded and protected. And I'm sorry if you hear that annoying background noise. All right, let's get a final message. The Gateway Oracles, angels and guides, let's get one final message, please, for the Divine Masculine Collective. Perfect. I felt like it was more than one card, that's why I kept going. Although I thank y'all for giving me the one card that I asked for once. All right, let's start here. Bottom of the deck, starting fresh. Happy New Year, right? A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. What is going on with you guys? The ants have another message for you guys. I might put a link below with the message of the ants because they just keep showing up for your reading. But one, we have the balance of like the light and the dark, right? Our yin and our yang. We have that whole image going on, right? So a lot of balance coming into your life this year, Divine Masculine, with you balancing your masculine, your feminine, your shadow and your light, your yin and your yang, all of that, okay? Stepping into stillness. I love this. So look, crescent moon energy is big. I don't know when the next new moon is. You may want to look it up, but I feel like there's a huge activation that's going to be going down with you guys in the next new moon. I believe we have like the next 3 moons are like super moons as well when it comes to full moons too. So there's just a lot going on there with the moon energy. My power is born in the majesty of silence. So again, we go into prayer, we ask big bold prayers, we put it out to the divine, and then we go into meditation, which is the silence. Sorry, Mercury's retrograde, don't judge me. And that's when we can hear clearly, right? That's when we can really get the clarity of our messages coming through because we cut off all the outside noise, right? So again, we're going to ask, we're going to believe, and we're going to receive. We're going to move forward. So we're going into that quiet. We're getting connected to that energy. We're clearly hearing, obviously not like verbally hearing, but clearly hearing the messages that are coming through for us. And then we're moving forward from there, right? Everything that we need to know, everything we need to do is already within us. We just need to activate it and allow ourselves to align to these energies, okay? So it's like if you need to know something and like, all of a sudden you have a question, and the next thing you know, the universe is answering it for you, right? You walk by somebody, you overhear a conversation, or something comes up on your freaking YouTube feed, or like in a Google search, or however it plays out for you, right? Maybe you're watching a movie. I get messages in all different ways at all times. The angels are always talking to us. You just need to be open to it, okay? But there's power in that stillness. Why? Because it's no longer the egoic mind that is you're allowing to dictate you. It's not the freaking naysayers in a peanut gallery that you're allowing to speak to you. No, it's your soul that's speaking to you through your heart. Your soul is never going to lead you wrong. Divine masculines, your soul is never going to lead you wrong. Okay? And then look, awakening ancient wisdom. Told you, a lot of you got awakened last year. It was activating. It was big. It was powerful. It was transformative. A lot of it sucked. It really did. It really did. Like 2022 was like, the fuck? Like, but here we are. Deep inner knowing is emerging within me. Once again, you're tapping into your gifts, your talents, your skills, and there's going to be a lot of people that are uncomfortable with you living your best life because they're comfortable with their own distorted lives and their dysfunction and their limitations and their fears. Fantastic. Not your monkey, not your circus, not your fucking problem, right? You know what you know what you know. All of our wisdom, all of our memories from all of our past lives is within our DNA. So it's time to activate that, right? And so a lot of you are going to be drawn, and like I went back to the traveler card, right? A lot of you are going to be drawn to some of those ancient sites, Egypt, Stonehenge, Sedona, Mount Shasta, right? There's all these different activation points along the grid, right? With Gaia's own chakra system. A lot of you are just going to be drawn to that. Maybe you've been doing research with like the Emerald Tablets or ancient Atlantis or things like that. I feel like there's a lot in there for you. Keep going down those rabbit holes. Like, don't give up. Don't get distracted. And especially when you're reading things like the Emerald Tablets or Course in Miracles, like it's like activation upon activation upon activation. These are texts that you're going to want to read a number of times, to really fully step into it. Final message. Come on. Come on. And you see me shuffle on camera. You really do. So you know I can't just make this shit up. Receiving from angels. Shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love. Like I said, call upon your angels. Call upon your guides. They are here for you. They got you. They love you. Their arms are open, their wings are open, right? To pour into you. So surround yourself in that bubble of light. Keep moving forward and don't give up. Don't get discouraged on this path. Know that you can be, do, or have anything in this universe, and that this is your year to win. We just have to persevere, right? We're gonna keep going even when it gets a little challenging or hard, or might seem like we're not there. When we get really close to our dreams and our goals and our manifestations and like that win, that activation, it'll seem like a shit show. Like everything will kind of like fall apart around you, like right before you come to this big win, right? It's always darkest win before the dawn, right? So we're not going to give up because we know the dawn is coming. We know that we're heading there. We know the sun is always going to come back out, right? That's this energy of this year. Do not give up. You got this beyond a measure of the doubt. Just be flexible and be open to the guidance. Really open your heart to the guidance this year. Ask your soul, ask your higher self. You know, you can put questions down on a piece of paper and put it in your pillow and go to sleep, and you will receive your answers and your guidance, maybe in your dreams or, like, you know, in the coming days. Like, don't be afraid to put it out there. These processes work for a reason, right? That's why we write things down, okay? Really big for you. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there for you, my beautiful divine masculines. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I will see you soon. Happy New Year.